Possession is the motivation that is hanging up the goddamn nation. Looks like they always end up in a rut. Everybody now trying to make it real compared to what? Come on, baby.
Dan Pascucci, and welcome to Everything But the Kitchen Sink, Mansfield Cable Access's premier talk show in our time slot. Always a pleasure to be with you. And again, we start out our usual way, and that's if you would like to be one of our guests. If you have a question for one of our guests, would like to recommend a guest, would like to be in our studio audience, have something you'd like us to read, anything at all, the all-purpose way to get a hold of us is through our email account, fieldkitchensink@gmail.com, and always right there on your screen. And again, thanks to the one and only Jack O'Neill, who he puts up with us and does a great job, makes us look good every week. And without him, well, I don't want to even go there. Also, we are on Facebook. And in the television show, it's Everything But the Kitchen Sink TV show. And also, we have a page on it, talkmansfield.org. So that, and also our weekly reminder about our furry friends at the Mansfield Animal Shelter, who always need your help and can't ask you themselves. They can't sell their own raffle tickets, and they can't collect, can't hold the can out and give you lollipops. So we got to do it for them. And again, that's a beautiful shelter down on Fruit Street, brand new shelter, top to bottom, 100% designed, built, and operated on your donations. I know I thank you, the people who run the shelter thank you, and particularly the furry friends of the shelter. You can get a hold of them at mansfieldshelter.org. And, I just can't do a show without saying it. But it is, again, it's a pleasure to be here. Beautiful weather out. We're not roasting today. We're not freezing today. It's probably one of the 3 days of the year where we can say that, where it was just absolutely perfect. And it's going to get even better because we got a very special guest for you tonight, and I am so honored to have this person with us. Not a stranger to me, but I'd like to introduce the one and only Christen Varley to Mansfield and beyond. And Christen is, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Welcome
Thanks
to the
so much.
show. And Christen is the president of the Greater Boston Tea Party, which is, we'll get into that. And so you're doing well?
I am.
Okay.
Very busy. Lots of things going on.
Are
these
you a
days.
hillbilly?
I am not a hillbilly.
You have teeth, obviously.
I have teeth.
I have teeth, and you're not wearing the American flag, and you didn't come down from the hill to be on the show.
I'm not. Well, I'm not wearing my Tea Party pin.
Oh,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
Wow. So okay, you're not a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, or a hater?
No, I'm not a fan of cooked spinach. I hate that, but that's pretty much where it ends.
I actually like spinach. I don't like
Cooked spinach.
Yeah. Well, if you overcook it is one thing. I can saute it and make it nice. I don't like beets no matter what you do to them.
Oh no! See, I can roast them. You make me spinach, I'll make you beets. We'll do a little trade-off.
Okay, very good.
But no, when it comes to people in politics, I'm willing to listen to the other side and then make a judgment.
Yeah, no, it's too bad. You Tea Party members, and I am one. All full disclosure here, I am a Tea Party member. But that said, there are several different Tea Parties.
There are dozens in Massachusetts alone.
Right, and we're concerned with the Greater Boston Tea Party, which is the one you are in charge of. You're the president of.
Well, I'm currently serving as the president, but we have a committee that runs the organization.
Okay, and none of them are these racist bigots or haters or anything like that, right? They're just regular people that work for a living and want the best for themselves and best for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, now, so now you have all these other Tea Parties. Are you somehow all connected? Are you interconnected somehow? Is it loose, or is it is there a Tea Party union, or
There's not a Tea Party union. I can assure you that.
Okay, no, I just
we leaders and members, of course, we all come together for different events around the state, and so we do have contact. We mostly through email, which is, as a member, that's how most of our interaction occurs, on the internet or via email. But no, it is really important because as Tea Party organizations mature and become better organized, they start looking at different levels of participation as we climb that government ladder from municipal government to state government to federal government. So when we're talking about doing some sort of event, you know, a large-scale rally, either in central Massachusetts or eastern Massachusetts in Boston, we want to bring people in from different parts of the state to participate in that. So it's critical that we have some communication. So yeah, we've set that up. You know, we're human, it's imperfect. But you know, those underlying goals of limiting government and bringing back personal responsibility and individual liberty are what unify us, and we come together on those principles.
That's good. Now, the vast majority of Tea Party members are working people. Does that make like attending rallies and stuff a little difficult?
You know what? It is difficult. We did an event at the State House yesterday with people from all over Massachusetts.
And what time was that? And what time of the day was that?
10 to 2.
10 to
on
2.
A working day.
On a
in
working
the
day.
summertime.
In the
During
summertime.
high vacation hours. But you know what? It's when the House was in session, or when the legislature was in session, and when they scheduled a constitutional convention. So, you know, we do at times have to operate on government schedule, or on if we want to bring in special speakers, you know, whatnot, we operate on their schedule. At other times, when it comes to scheduling our meetings, or you know, special lectures or movie showings or whatnot, then we operate on our schedule.
Okay.
It's, you know, it's give and take.
All right.
It's good practice for when we deal with actual legislators.
Oh, good. And do you think you got a fair shake in the media with this event yesterday? Because obviously I didn't see any coverage of it anywhere, and I knew about it.
Yeah, there wasn't. There were a few articles written in the Herald or State House News covered it, obviously, because they were there, and they're great about sharing news about what's happening with state government. So an article, I believe, appeared in the Boston Herald. The Metro West Daily had some coverage. You know, it's, you know, we weren't out carrying our signs and rallying and screaming and yelling and making a lot of noise. But that's okay. The Tea Party has...
Any music?
No.
You guys are actually,
There
the
was
Tea
no
Party
music
is known
either.
for some music and some entertainment. And
Well, I mean, this is
nice
what's critical about the Tea Party movement right now, is understanding that not only do we have to be out in the streets marching and rallying and drawing attention to our cause in that way, but at times we need to, you know, to go to the State House or to go to the Capitol building and meet with our legislators and make sure they understand not only what our principles are, but specific policy goals at the same time. When they propose legislation that we like, we're going to back them. When they propose legislation we don't like, we're going to spread the word that it's bad for the state and we want it to go away.
Okay, very good.
We're maturing as activists.
Well,
yeah.
actually, when was the actual starting of the Tea Party? It wasn't very long ago.
Not even 3 years. Where the first rumblings of the Tea Party movement as it exists right now were in early January or late January of 2009 with the package of the TARP bill in the fall of 2008. And then with you know, the victory of Barack Obama for the presidency, the immediate discussion of a stimulus package. So
And we all know how well that worked out.
yeah. What are we? $800 billion, and the jobs have come out to cost about $250,000 each. The jobs that were created.
Were they created?
I got to tell you, I want
saved?
one of those jobs.
Well, if they were going to lay you off and they didn't, is that creating a job or is that saving a job? What do they consider that?
I don't know how they measure that. So what we're told is that that's never been measured before in modern history. So
How does government create
really
a job? I mean, they had, you know, we did the TVA way back when in the Stone Age.
Right.
But I mean, since then, in modern times, how does the government actually create a job other than a government job, which
other
really...
than a government job? And that's the catch. That's the catch. Government can't create jobs unless they hire more people, which means more tax dollars have to go into the system to pay for those people. And what we do know is that under this administration, a government job is a pretty darn good job. It's not even competitive with the private sector at this point, which is one of the problems we in the Tea Party movement have with government employees.
Right. Now back to the lovely names that Tea Party members are referred to.
Yes.
Okay. Why do people refer to us like that? Why do they, everybody's a racist, everybody's, you know, this and that? I mean, it's odd. I mean, it's troublesome that's all they can say against us. Not that we want accountability or, you know, anything
Right.
else. We're bigots and haters and racists.
Right. Well, the unfortunate thing about it is here we have President Obama, who's the first black president that we've had, and I think that when you are on the opposite side of where we are on policy, and you don't have a valid idea or argument for being against our ideas, you have to look for something else in order to demonize. It's easy to say, well, they don't like President Obama because he's black. Well, I've been kind of an advocate for limited government, limited taxation, and cutting government spending my entire adult life. So it's kind of a leap to say that all of a sudden the first black guy that came along was the one that got me inspired.
But he wasn't the first black guy that came along. We have Governor Patrick.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his.
No, but you can disagree with him, and you can, but and nobody ever calls you a racist if you disagree with him.
Right.
Okay, the same way nobody.
Well, and the reality of it is that every idea or everything that comes out of Beacon Hill or out of Capitol Hill is not, these are not being directed by the president and the governor. These are being directed by the legislature, by Congress. So when I say that I disagree with policy, I'm more in disagreement with the powers that be in the legislatures than I am necessarily with the head. Now, the Obama administration and all of these new positions that they've created, these bureaucratic czars as they are with their little fiefdoms, I have a problem with that because that's completely unaccountable, and voters don't get to choose who runs these new little departments. But again, that's a policy issue that I disagree with and that people in the movement do.
Do you feel that President Obama is a racist?
No.
No?
No, I think that he's got some rather unique ideas on class, which is something that we really don't deal with in America. We don't have, there's so much, well, there used to be movement between, what we would consider economic classes. We're not seeing that as much right now because of the crisis. But I think the president has some pretty antiquated ideas of class.
I wouldn't say he's a racist, but he sure uses that race card a lot. I don't care what anybody says because
I think the people around him do.
Well,
I don't know if he throws it down as much as the people that
he's the team captain.
Well, exactly. He's got to be held accountable.
You can say something about Condoleezza Rice, Herman Cain, Deval Patrick, Jesse Jackson, and nobody ever says anything, but the minute you question anything this president does, you're automatically a racist. It happened to me today.
Wow.
It happened to me today on something, and it's like you're automatically, that was a racist remark. You don't like him, you must be a racist. It's like, no, I don't like him. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I mean.
Well, yeah.
It does. I'm not looking at anything other than what than the actions.
Well, I think the thing that's most unfortunate about this this rampant use of racism when you disagree with the policies of the administration is that when we do start to encounter racism, and it exists, when we do encounter it, we don't recognize what it is. It's been dumbed down. It's been diluted so that it's not going to be as meaningful, as it could be. It's not going to have the same, when you call something out as racist, because it's being so widely used now, it's not going to have the same effect. And I think that that's something that the side that's using that as an argument needs to understand, that they are damaging the cause of fighting racism.
Right. I think they just do it to try to throw you off your game. Get
well,
you on the defensive.
They do. And the thing about it is that people in the Tea Party movement, as we become more and more informed and more comfortable with voicing our opinion and why we have these opinions and these beliefs, the charge of racism becomes more and more meaningless, and it doesn't have, on me it has no effect anymore. I brush it off. I'm used to hearing it. I just really have no response anymore. I know what's in my heart and what's in my mind, and I'm not a racist, and so I can't, but there's no defending against it.
Now, does it bother you to be called a teabagger?
When my daughter's around, it does.
Does it bother you?
I wouldn't want to have to explain that comment to her.
Does it bother you when the president of the Massachusetts Senate refers to you as a teabagger?
It doesn't bother me, but I find it inappropriate. and really demeaning of that position.
Well, again, do you think this is an appropriate comment for someone holding that office? Absolutely not.
Not at all.
And I was very upset about that because it was on video.
Right.
It was everywhere.
Well, and she has a very large Tea Party constituency in her district, so she was speaking directly about people that, well, have not a